This is what kittens do. They act like you never ever feed them, even though you totally do feed them, and they totally have been fed. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Corin, also known as the Kitten Choreographer. My pronouns are he, they, and I am a teen with a passion for animal rescue and, in particular, kitten rescue. So sorry for the bad lighting, but I'm only going to be here a minute because today I will be introducing to you my new foster kittens. As you guys probably know by now, I am a teenage kitten fosterer / rescuer, and I often get new foster kittens, and I got some new ones today and I'm going to introduce them to you. So I'm going to go ahead and flip my camera around so you can see them. There you can see is my incubator, and inside I have my new foster babies. I'm going to go ahead and share their story for you while you can see them wiggling around in there, and then I will bring them each out individually and introduce their names and genders to you. I'm also going to real quick answer a frequently asked question. I often get asked, where do I get my kittens? How do I get so many kittens? And the answer is that I work with a rescue. I'm going to go ahead and link their website in the description box below. I work with Itty Bitty Kitten Rescue in Lexington, Kentucky. They're absolutely amazing. I love working with them, but I get kittens because they get a lot of requests for kittens, and then I get passed on some of the kittens so that I can foster them. So I don't know these guys' full story, but I am going to share all that I do know about them with you. So these guys were found in a county a few hours away from my house. At least I think it was a few hours if they were found where I think they were found. I'm not entirely sure, but they were found somewhere within a few hours from my house and my town. These guys, their mama had not been around for a little while, so it was determined that they needed to be brought inside because their mama was not around and it was not safe for them to stay outside. I'm sorry, but can we just check at how cute these guys are? They're wiggling around because they were just fed and they haven't gone back to sleep after being fed. So they're just kind of wiggling around, finding new spots to sleep. Their finder actually decided to feed them powdered cow's milk, which is definitely not a good option for baby kittens, but they didn't know any better, so I'm not going to fault them for that. If you do find kittens, definitely don't just guess as to what to feed them, and instead look online for the best options. If you're on my channel, that's definitely a great place to start. I can link several other videos in the description below about kitten formula and how to feed kitten formula and stuff like that. But when my rescue director found out that these guys were being fed powdered cow's milk, she told the finder to go ahead and stop feeding them and that they would be brought into rescue soon and be fed kitten formula soon. So then they were given to a transporter who brought them to a town much closer to where I was, and then I went and got them. And by the time I got them, they were loud. They had not been fed, and I'm gonna guess a little over 24 hours. I'm not entirely sure, but that's what I'm gonna guess. And so they screamed the entire 45-minute car ride back from the town where I picked them up. But before I could feed them, before I even wanted to bring them into my house, I had to give them flea baths because these guys were covered in fleas. I mean, they had fleas absolutely everywhere. So we did have to give them flea baths. I was going to film that process, but then it ended up being a much more hectic process than I thought it would be. So I ended up not filming it and just filming now instead. So what we did is we filled up 2 tubs, one for rinsing and one for actually scrubbing off the fleas. And let me just say, the water that had the fleas in it was so gross. It was covered in fleas. It was all yellowy, browny. It was disgusting. I kind of wish I'd taken a picture of it now so that I could show you, but you should also be kind of glad I spared your eyes from that because it was really disgusting. 3 of the kittens back there are suckling on a blanket, and it's really cute back there. They are just doing that for comfort because I have fed them recently, but it is adorable. I have a video about flea baths too that I'll link in the description as well if you want to know how to give a flea bath. Fortunately, my dad was around to help me out because these guys also had to be fed, so we had a whole system of bathe, then feed, and it worked out well. But I was kind of worried about the smallest one there because he went totally limp while he was being bathed. He seemed fine until then, so I knew he was small, but I was like, he'll be fine to give a bath because he had the most fleas on him. But I think he was super anemic, and I was really worried about him while he was in the bath, but he seems to be perked up a lot more now, so that is good. I think it was just mostly a shock reaction to having been in the bath and not being prepared for the water, because you can't really tell a kitten, oh, I'm about to put you in water. They don't understand that. But I just basically gave these guys a flea bath, and then I fed them. They were so-so about the formula at first. They'd never had it before, and like 2 of them ate, 3 of them didn't really want much. But as the feedings have gone by, I've fed them 2 more times since I got them. They've started to eat a lot more. And while not all of them are latching at this time, they are still lapping up some formula just from the nipple tip. I've been using the mini miracle nipples like I always do, and I was using a syringe to help slowly push some formula in their mouth, and they were drinking that up, which is good. But I do hope they'll learn to latch, because bottle feeding is definitely easier than syringe feeding. But of course, I'll do whatever I need to do for the babies. But anyway, I think I'm going to introduce these guys to you. I have decided on a jewel theme for this litter. So they are all different types of sparkly, shiny jewels, and I love jewels. I love sparkly things, as you probably know if you've watched my channel for a while. So I'm super excited. This black baby right here is Onyx. We decided to name him that because the jewels are black. He is a black kitten, so I thought it would be a good idea. Will you show your face to the camera? No, I'm gonna go ahead and put him back down. He's the biggest, the chunky boy, and I think he might also be a long hair when he gets older because of how fluffy he is. I just fed these guys and they're already like, feed me again. I'll feed you again in a minute, okay? Well, probably not literally a minute, but I'll feed you again soon. This is personally my favorite looking baby. I hope this is in focus. If it's not, I'm sorry. I don't want to just like hold her here forever until it goes in focus. The kitten's health is obviously more important than my filming. Sorry about that. Although I'm sure most of you understand. This is Sapphire. She is a gorgeous, gorgeous tortoiseshell girl, and she has that split face, which I've always wanted to have a kitten with this split face. So I'm really, really glad to have her. And these next 3 babies look kind of similar, but I figured out how to tell their differences. I'm also pretty sure Sapphire is the second biggest. I also just realized my microphone was rotated the wrong way for a couple minutes there. Hopefully the audio quality isn't too bad, but if it is, I'm sorry. I don't feel like refilming that part. Now, as I was saying, the next 3 are the smallest, and they also look pretty similar, but I found ways to tell them apart, so I'll go ahead and tell you that. Hi, Sapphire. Sapphire is definitely the best eater so far. She's great at latching, and she loves her Fox Valley kitten formula. She wants some more right now, apparently. But you just ate. You just ate. Next up, we have Opal. Opal is a tiny little girl here, and I can tell her apart from her other brown tabby siblings because she has white feet. She has white little paws, and none of the others have the white paws. So I can tell you apart that way. Also, these babies do have a little bit of an eye infection, so if you see their eyes are crusty gunky, I know about that. They're already on meds for that. But I can't just magically make it better, so it takes a little bit of time and a little bit of medicine. Sapphire wants to be on camera again, so here you go. Next up, we have Ruby. I can tell Ruby apart because she has the cutest little pink and black toe beans. She's the only brown tabby that has these mixed toe beans. She has them on both her back paws and her front, if she'll let me show them to you. Just a little bit there. She's got mixed toe beans, and that's really cute. That's how I tell her apart from her brother. I think this is a girl. She's kind of the hardest to tell. I usually can tell pretty easily, but she's kind of hard. I think she's a girl, but I might have to change her name later if I gendered her wrong. I'm sorry if I misgender you, Ruby. She's a cat, though, so she doesn't really care. And lastly, we have the one who loves to suckle the blanket the most. He's also the smallest. This is Jade. In addition to all the other quirks I've mentioned so far about him loving to suckle the blanket, him being smaller, he also has very funky hair. It just loves to stick up. But this is Jade. He was the baby that went limp while he was getting his bath. I was really worried about him for a second there. But you can see he's active now and he's been eating, suckling, so I'm hoping he ends up doing well. He's not completely out of the woods yet, but I am hoping he ends up doing okay. This is what kittens do. They act like you never ever feed them, even though you totally do feed them, and they totally have been fed. And Sapphire, you can't walk well enough to walk up me yet. If you fall, that won't be good for you. You see, kittens don't always know what's good for them, which is why I'm here. Okay, let's go back in the incubator. Thank you. Just gonna switch this closed. But you can see these guys, they're not very exciting yet when it comes to things they do. They pretty much just wiggle around in there a little bit. They get fed, I potty them, or I help them potty, and that is pretty much it at this point. They're super cute, but they're also a little scraggly just because they just came into rescue, so they don't necessarily look like the perfect top-notch kittens yet, just because they got some issues, which is pretty standard for kittens with rescue. You know, they've got their fleas, they've got their eye infections, they have some diarrhea too, which I'm hoping is just because of the powdered cow's milk, but I will definitely keep an eye out for that as well. But these are my new babies. I will definitely make more videos about them because I love watching videos about baby kittens, and I'm sure most of my audience does too, so there will definitely be more baby kitten videos in the near future. If you want to check out more kitten videos, I will link some more in the description. But thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to like it and subscribe for more kitten related content. I upload on Sundays and on Wednesdays if I can, and if I can't, then I upload whenever I am able to. Also, please make sure to leave any thoughts or questions that you have down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching again, and goodbye!